decreasing, what's going on across the country, or maybe you can only speak for the Navajo or in the Southwest. Is the shamanic tradition, the authentic one, alive and well? And how do they know charlatans? Are there charlatans from real people who can help you in this?
Right, that's a fundamental question. They've solved that because they don't have large institutional structures. They don't have hierarchies with levels of people in charge. If you can heal people, if you're respected by the people in your community, if you're the one they go to when there's an abandoned child and someone needs to take them into their family, if you're willing to work for nothing because all these people are the ones you grew up with and the ones that raised you, you are known. Your character is known. It's not because
that's really cool.
You have fancy theories. You're respected, and when you speak, people listen to you, and those are the people that have the clout, and it's not for conjecture, but there's no proof either, Yeah. So and some medicine men are like straight arrow types, they got creases in their jeans and they tuck their shirts in and they're squared away, man, just like in the military. They're on the job 24/7. And other guys are like, really loosey-goosey. But when it comes to it, doing a ceremony, you things line up, you get rain out of a clear sky. And it's not a miracle. Well, it is a miracle, but just because everything's a miracle. You get agreements from the world. Wild animals come up to you. You're okay if wild animals like you, that's a good sign. So there's all kind of real world indications. And the real initiates that I've known in the native traditions have not been, extraordinary in any specific way. Julie, my wife, and I have come up with the term, we call them not supernatural, but super ordinary. What do we say, Julie? Super normal. We say super normal.
How about supernaturally natural? I've heard that described. Yeah.
They're super normal.
Yeah.
They're extra human.
Yeah.
They aren't out there. They aren't, doing spooky stuff. They're really reassuring to be around because, they're really individuated and at ease with themselves. It's accessible. The real problem is that people's brains are too freaking busy and they can't slow down to notice what's going on around them, what's much less in their own minds. The stuff is happening all around. The native traditions are about, they don't teach meditation because if you're really in touch with your environment, you're kind of meditated automatically. You're synced and you're in the zone. And things come up and they arise and they go down, and you realize that life is a constant succession of inexplicable miracles. I like the small ones. The big ones are tricky. It comes with catches and fine print. The little ones, I'm good with those. Really, and they happen all the time around Native people. And if you want to check it out, just go to your local Native American people somewhere. They're probably listening to a phone book. The reservations have websites and whatever. Say you want to go to an Inipi, you want an experience in Inipi, a sweat lodge. You go to one of those run by a Native of any sort, and that'll be an initiation. I guarantee you that.
So that's not Matthew Milliner. Remember, Michael? He was kind of saying the same thing. Don't presume you know too much. The basic hospitality in a humble way, but there is a welcoming. You're saying it's not an imposition.
They love to teach. They have the wisdom. They know that needs to be shared. Yeah. And the most terrible thing for one of those people is that no one asks them to share what they know.
Wow, that's really good to hear.
Yeah, and then it gets lost. And then people have to start, recreating it from the wheel again. You know, that's what a lot of this New Age spirituality is. You got people with, you know, profound impulses, you know, but no guidance. There's no one that really represents it. There's people that go out and teach theories and have these grand, you know, ideas about stuff, but you know, to really start living with your feet on the ground here in this continent, you need good examples of how it's done. And once you get it, it's real simple.
Really neat. Stephen, like if you took a
it's open source is what it is.
Open source.
Everyone
open source.
contributes.
Yeah.
No one's in charge. Because the spirits are there and they will give agreement or not, you know, when people put themselves up. Okay.